Hello, my name is Stephen Leslie France, and I absolutely love editing. And there are many reasons why I came into the career of both writing and editing. But there's one story that comes to mind which I think really highlights why editing is important as well as why I love it so much. And so I was in advertising sales a few years ago, and I had a client who I'd been liaising with for quite a while. I'd been emailing with her, I'd been phoning her, and we've been, got into a good communication. And so I had a meeting with her. This was back in the British Virgin Islands, so if you know Road Town, you'll know that going to a meeting in East End is quite a distance. But I realized, this client was very serious about wanting the contract, and this was looking like it was going to be quite a big deal. So I traveled down there, and the meeting went fantastically. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better. She was, blown away by the proposal. She was very happy with what she was going to get, and she was ready to sign on the dotted line. So I went back to the office and I emailed her. And coming back to a bit of a email correspondence, we got to the point where we're at the fine point of signing this contract. And she backed out. At the last minute, she said, "We don't have enough money in the budget for this month, but we will. We'll definitely look at this next month, and we're very happy with everything that you're looking to provide." So, I was not, upset by this. That's a prospect. You think to yourself, next month you'll make the sale, things will be fine. So, as a sort of a closing email for that month, I said to her, "That's really, thank you very much for this, Miss X. I'm very happy that we were able to, talk and meet. And, it's a shame you won't be operating with us this month, but hopefully, next month we'll be able to talk and get something sorted." And so I got an email back. Now I always scrutinize my emails. As soon as I get an email, I can tell if it's going to be a positive or a negative just by how many paragraphs and just by picking out a few words here and there. And so straight away I saw two paragraphs and I picked out a few words and I thought to myself, oh no, what's happened? She seemed upset. So I read the email and it came down to her response being, "Mr. France, I find it appalling that you've wished shame upon me," and a few other words. This is very upsetting, and we won't be corresponding anymore. So I took a step back. I said to myself, "What did I do wrong? What did I say in my previous email that was so offensive?" So I went back to my email, reread it, said to myself, "Okay, there's got to be something I've done wrong here. There has to be something here." So I reread the email again and again. "Thanks very much, Miss X. Sorry we couldn't do business. It's a shame that you won't be joining us this month, blah, 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 blah." Reread it again and again and again. Went to my other work colleagues, asked them, is there something wrong with this email? Have I said something offensive here? Is there something, that I've done that I'm not seeing? Maybe because I've just been too drawn into this correspondence. Maybe I'm just too close to it. But my colleagues agreed that, no way, Stephen, you've followed protocol, you've been polite and diplomatic, and there's nothing wrong with your email. So obviously I went back to try and salvage the situation. I sent an email back saying, "I really apologize. I didn't mean to cause you offense. I just meant that, we wanted you to have you take on this contract this month, and hopefully we can see you next month. Again, I really apologize, and hopefully we can carry on doing business." Now, with this client, that was it. Game over. I had lost a client, plain and simple. And it came down to this word, shame. I'd used a word that she found offensive, and it just didn't work out for her. This was something that she saw as me, as I said, putting shame upon her. Whereas I understood, it's a shame just to mean it's a shame. And so that was a big learning curve for me, because I realized that just using just one word can make all the difference in a correspondence. And so taking that back to why I love editing, the way I saw it was one word can make a difference in an email, change the entire ballgame, make a client decide never to speak to me again. It makes me think to myself, what could one word do in, say, some web copy that you have, or a big advertorial that you might be putting into a magazine, or even just a simple flyer. What words are you using to promote yourself? What words are you using to get the sale, to get the business? And it's the same with punctuation. These very fine details, they have to be all reviewed, and you have to make certain that the client or the audience that you're targeting is going to be pleased to see that and respond in the positive manner that you expect. And so even though that's an extreme example, for me, this highlighted just how important editing is. And I love the process because I love, making certain that people love the words that, the words you use, and the structure that you use as well, in terms of constructing the perfect prose to get their message across. And so for me, as I said, that was a learning lesson, but a learning curve, sorry. But it's something that for me really highlighted just how important editing is. And yeah, definitely something to keep in mind when you are putting yourself out there and putting yourself out to the public in a manner that's hopefully to solicit their business or their custom and their favor. So it's a very important factor in business, and one, again, it's a reason why I love what I do, because that's what I have to work on. I have to be, efficient. So that is why I love editing. Thanks very much.